This is Josiah Rivera. He's a young entrepreneur based in Texas who is a bodybuilding coach and a fitness enthusiast. He runs a personal training business called Grass-Fed Fitness where he teaches aspiring bodybuilders how to win in the sport of competitive bodybuilding. This is Mishka, his cat. She is cute and cuddly. In late March of this year, Mishka went missing, which shouldn't have been a big deal because she was wearing a collar with an AirTag built in. Unfortunately for Josiah, tracking a cat through an AirTag turned out to be a lot more difficult than it might seem. Over the following 3 weeks, the AirTag activity was sporadic and unreliable, but he did eventually manage to get a solid ping that he was able to trace to a specific house. The ping wasn't very far away, so he decided to stop in and see if he could locate his cat. The ping led him to a home in Travis County, Texas, and according to Josiah, he approached the home to knock on the door and ask if anyone had seen his cat. Josiah told me that he saw someone through the door when he initially approached, and he knocked and waited for them to answer. They were taking a minute to answer the door, but he assumed that they were just trying to get presentable before talking to him. In his own words, he told me, "It was 9:45 in the morning on a Sunday, and I am generally not wearing pants at that time myself." So Josiah was pretty confident that someone was about to come to the door and hand him Mishka, because he could also hear an AirTag being pinged from inside the house. Josiah says that he was standing at the door for somewhere around 5 or 10 minutes when Deputy Sarah from the Travis County Sheriff's Office arrived on the scene.
Keep your hands up.
Yes, so Adam.
All the way up. Well, we got a call here. I'll explain. Do not reach for that gun. You reach for that gun, you will get shot. Do you understand? Yeah, get on your knees. Do not reach for that gun. Crawl backwards just a little bit. On your knees. Now crawl to your left. I want you in the driveway. Crawl backwards. Lay on your stomach. Lay on your stomach. You're gonna put your hands out like an airplane. 42. I got him proned out in the driveway. I'm gonna wait for a 75. And 32 is in his right pocket.
All hands on?
Yeah. We'll come this side. I got him. I got lethal. Do not reach for that gun. You understand?
If you're gonna cuff me, just ask that you be a little gentle with my left shoulder. It's a little bad, so I'm not resting. I appreciate you being gentle. I'll go ahead and volunteer. There's a knife in my left pocket, and then a knife in my right pocket, and then a magazine in my left pocket.
All right, come back here.
We'll do it for 2. We're clear.
That's not how I anticipated my Sunday morning going outside.
Watch your knees. So do you have any idea what this guy is doing?
No. As soon as I got here, I saw it like immediately in his right pocket.
Yeah.
And then I saw that Barry wrote a suspicious person, but he didn't. There was not any detail in the report saying that they uploaded a video and that was it. That's all he.
You mean to talk to this guy or wait?
I'm gonna talk to her. Well, I'm gonna try, or we may just wait on the husband too.
Okay. So we don't know at this point what we have yet.
Correct.
Okay. I'm gonna pull my car up so that the husband will be able to get in. All right, man. You the husband? Your husband?
Yeah, I'm the husband.
Okay. You can talk to the deputy over there.
I'm gonna get my hand. I'm holding hand.
Okay.
I'm gonna get my hand right back.
Okay. Okay, so we're going to talk to the people here first, and then we'll talk to you second, okay? Okay, but Just to let you know, we will get your side of the story, okay? All right.
I'm the
James.
husband.
Okay.
My wife called me. They left the gym.
Okay.
they
He's going to be the deputy to talk to find out what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if my wife showed you, but on Facebook, we have a Facebook community page. I found this morning when I was leaving for the gym, right on my doormat. So I took a picture of it and put it on the Facebook page. Just to had anybody lose a cat or whatever.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah, and then people they saw that guy on their ring, the camera. Thought he had a gun on his pocket. It's a little suspicious. Yeah, and then my wife called me. He's at the door. So I left the gym, come here, and I don't know what's going on.
Where did you find this again?
On my doormat. Like, I came out, and it was just sitting right there.
Huh.
It's almost like it was planted. Like someone put it there. I think it was suspicious. Out of all these pages, it's on my doormat.
Okay.
I don't know.
And your wife's okay in there?
Yeah, he's right. I mean, I have a 2-month-old baby, too.
Okay.
So,
All right. Let me talk to him real quick, and then we'll see what's going on. I appreciate it. What's your name?
Josiah Rivera.
What is it?
Josiah Rivera.
Josiah Rivera.
Yes, sir.
Where do you stay at?
Like maybe 2 minutes up the road,
Okay.
like right across the street.
Okay. What? Tell me what's going on.
So I basically was looking for my cat. I have an air tag on her collar, so when I checked the location, because I hadn't seen her in a little bit, the location pinged to here, so I went over here and knocked on the doors, just seeing if someone had taken in a lost cat, and then no answer. So I waited. I heard the dog barking, so I figured, and I heard a baby crying, so I was like, okay, well, I figured someone knows that I'm sitting here, so I figured I'd just wait till they answer the door, and then y'all showed up.
Okay. What about last night?
Oh, yeah, last night I was looking for her again. I'm assuming y'all may have gotten a call about over on 715, like 2 streets over. Yeah, the guy there, though, answered, and he was like, yeah, we haven't seen a cat, so I looked around, and then the ping went a different location, so I just went on my way. And then after that, I gave up last night because it was like 9:45 at night, and I figured I didn't want to knock on people's doors that late at night.
You have
And
a picture of your cat?
On my cell phone, yeah.
Okay. What kind of cat is it?
I'm not very good with cat. She was a feral that I brought in, so I'm not very good with it. It's a gray and white one with a purple collar.
The purple collar?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What's her name?
Mishka. You'll
Okay.
see on the air tag, which I can show you on my cell phone, you'll see the air tag location that pops up. It says Mishka, my phone number, and all that info.
Okay. So tell me about the gun.
I've had that gun for years.
You
I'd carry all the time. I was gonna head to the range, and then I got the ping that she was over here. So I was like, oh, let me just stop in real quickly.
Okay. So, but you just carry your gun in your pocket everywhere you go?
There's an internal holster on my pants, so it's not pocket carry. It's
Where?
if you open up the cargo pocket, and you feel inside, there's a cloth holster on there that is a soft holster. If you feel inside there, you see
In
right
here?
there? Yes, sir.
But it was in your right pocket.
Yes, in the cargo pocket.
cargo.
Yeah, in the cargo.
The gun was in his cargo?
Yeah, I make sure to keep it only in there because I know pocket carry is a little gray in Texas.
Well, I mean, this is a rough area, right?
This is?
I mean, this is like crack houses and drug dealers. I mean,
I wasn't
it only
aware
makes
of that.
sense that you carry your gun when you're looking for your cat, right?
I-
It's not a rough neighborhood. I'm being sarcastic.
Oh.
You know, I mean, you come knocking on my door with a pistol in your pocket. Guess what? You're going to see the business end of mine.
I mean, I understand that, but we are in Texas. It's open to carry state,
And
so I
that's
know I'm within
fine.
the
You're
bounds
right.
of
It's
the law.
legal, but people aren't going to answer the door. They're not going to
Well,
help you out.
I'm aware of that. She had a Ring doorbell, so I honestly thought if she was uncomfortable, she was just going to be like, hey, what are you doing? And I was going to be like, hey, I'm just looking for my cat. Did y'all happen to see her?
And
But-
but see, that doesn't. I understand what you're saying, right?
I mean, look,
Everyone's going to be suspicious of that statement if you got a gun in your pocket.
I'm aware. Again, this
Okay.
is, I'm within the bounds of
As
the law,
long-
so I'm
This
not
is not talking
worried
about the
nothing.
law. This is talking about common sense.
Now, I intentionally didn't mention that Josiah was armed in the introduction for a reason, because the moment you learn that fact, it totally shifts your perspective. And That's exactly the problem. Texas is a constitutional carry state, which means that the law explicitly allows individuals to open carry a firearm without a permit, so long as they're not prohibited from owning one in the first place. And that's not a loophole or some legal gray area, it's Texas law, plain and simple. So the fact is that Josiah was legally carrying a firearm according to Texas law. Here's something else that's not illegal: walking up to someone's door and knocking on it. The Supreme Court has repeatedly held that the area leading up to a front door, which is known as the curtilage, is subject to what's called an implied license. And that basically means that the general public, including strangers, delivery drivers, or someone looking for a lost pet, is lawfully permitted to walk up and knock unless there's a clear sign or gate or some other instruction that revokes that permission. This doesn't give a license to police officers to come up to your door and start looking around for something to charge you with, but there's nothing wrong with a private citizen walking up to your door and ringing your doorbell. And just to really drive this point home, here's a clip of Supreme Court Justice Scalia outlining exactly how this works. And this was taken directly from the official recording of the 2013 case of Florida v. Jardines.
It is true that by hanging a knocker on the front door, we implicitly invite visitors, including the police, to approach our homes in hopes of speaking with us. But the scope of that invitation is limited to a particular place, to a brief duration, and just as importantly, to a particular purpose. No one is invited to come up to the home simply to snoop around. No door-to-door salesman would think himself licensed to stand on the front porch and peer into the windows. And no neighbor would think it proper to sweep a metal detector around the front lawn before coming to the door and asking permission.
The point here is that driveways and porches are made to be places where members of the public interact with each other. They were designed for situations exactly like the one that Josiah was attempting to use them for. So the idea that Josiah was somewhere he didn't belong just because he walked up a driveway and knocked on a door isn't just wrong, it's legally backwards. He was doing the same thing that every FedEx driver or Girl Scout or Jehovah's Witness does on a daily basis. It only became a perceived threat because he was exercising another right that's protected under state law: carrying a firearm, which is what makes the Travis County deputies' response to this situation particularly troubling. It's important to bear in mind that we don't know what was actually reported by the 911 caller, so we need to give some deference to the deputies based on that lack of information. But regardless, we can see just by looking at the body cam footage that Josiah was not brandishing his firearm or behaving in any way that could be perceived as a threat. As far as we know, the only reason the Travis County deputies reacted the way they did was because Josiah was armed, not because he had done anything threatening or illegal. And this is my main criticism. You can't say that you support constitutional carry as a state and then turn around and treat every armed citizen like they're seconds away from committing a mass shooting. Standing on a driveway, knocking on a door while carrying a firearm is not a crime. But you wouldn't know that based on how these deputies treated Josiah. And don't get me wrong here, I'm not saying it was unreasonable for the homeowner to call the police. If someone you don't know is standing on your front porch with a visible firearm, then sure, yeah, that can feel threatening. But how the police respond is another matter entirely. Because if constitutional carry means anything, it means that simply being armed cannot be a justification for a stop or a detention or a perceived threat. If Texas is going to be a constitutional carry state, then the members of law enforcement in that state need to adapt their policies and procedures to reflect the law and stop treating lawfully armed citizens as any greater of a threat than anyone else. And Deputy McDaniel's little condescending lecture that no one asked for was completely unnecessary and totally irrelevant. It doesn't matter what Deputy McDaniel or anyone else thinks about the optics of going about your day while open carrying in Texas, because that's just the law. And the police are not here to enforce discomfort or what they consider to be common sense. Again, if you're going to have a state that accepts the doctrine of constitutional carry, then you don't get to police it only when it makes you or others feel uncomfortable.
It's talking about common sense.
Well, that's it's an unfortunate misunderstanding, but now that we've gotten it all cleared up, I'm fairly confident that we'll all resolve this nicely.
You're right. But I'm just saying, man. I mean,
aware.
no one's going to help you if you're looking for help of others.
If we're gonna be honest, I carry it so often in that cargo pocket. I was in my truck, I forgot it was even there, and then when he came out with a gun, I was like, I probably got my handgun in my cargo pocket.
Where did you park your car?
That's that truck that's parked on the side over there.
Oh, okay.
With the lights flashing. Because I thought this was going to be a 2-minute, hey, saw the cat or didn't see the cat, okay, and then just keep looking.
Where's your license at?
It's in that
wallet?
That little black wallet. You'll see my license to carry, my driver's license, all my stuff there. All right. I've even got my car registration there if y'all need it.
All right, well, hang tight.
Yes, sir.
Okay, man. So I guess the main thing I want you to grasp out of all this is, are you married or anything?
I've got a girlfriend.
Okay, girlfriend. All right. So, you know, there's been a lot of stories and stuff with air tags being used for nefarious purposes, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
I had someone plant one on my truck one time too.
Yeah. So that, you know, in itself looks crazy. You know, like if you're in a neighborhood, you know, and you're a girl, you know, and you step out, and you're like, holy crap, there's an air tag right here, right?
Yeah.
First thing they're thinking of, some stalker or someone's watching me, right? Mm-hmm. And then you see a guy with a gun.
I understand the optics of it.
Perfect. Right. Perfect. Thank you.
Now, I'm actually wondering if there's a glitch in the Apple AirTag system, because when I pinged it, I could hear the beep inside, and I'm wondering if maybe their dog has an AirTag on their collar as well. Because when I asked the guy last night, hey, did it ping here? He goes, my dog has an AirTag, but I haven't seen anything else.
Okay.
And I'm wondering if maybe somehow the AirTags are glitching, because it would be the second time in 8 hours.
It didn't glitch.
Okay. Wait, the cat is here?
No, the collar's here.
Why is the collar here?
I don't know.
Like a purple collar with a...
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know why it's here. I'm assuming it fell off or it broke, or the cat scratched and it unbuckled.
Was it in the house somehow?
No. It was on the front porch.
Okay, that's very odd. Because I honestly thought it was going to be glitching again. That's why I came out here to see if it would... If someone had taken the cat into his kids, I know she's an indoor-outdoor. But the fact that the collar is missing here is very strange, just because...
Well, you came here, though. So, I mean, obviously it led here, right?
Yeah, well, I'm more just surprised that it's not still on her, because it's like, you know, normally the cat's never scratched the collar off before, and I've had it on her for over a month now.
I see.
Like, she's taken very well with the collar. That's why I'm very surprised. It makes me wonder if... Honestly, I have no clue. The only thing I could think of would be that someone, you know, brought her in and took the collar off, but why they would leave it on someone's porch, I don't know. And if I just seen the collar, I would have just grabbed the collar and gone, but I couldn't find the collar. That's why I was pinging and asking. If I may ask you, what pants are those? Because I have, like, cries.
Okay, hold on a second. Let's take care of our business first.
I don't have anything.
No, I know. It's just an idiot
it's just
carrying a gun looking for his cat.
Even a pipe, like...
Yeah.
I mean, it's got fresh weed in there, but...
Yeah, I agree. But it's just...
Just give him the pipe back and toss the weed.
It was behind his ear or something like that.
I mean, I don't even think there's any...
We can't. I mean, unless but you have to have a crime before you have UCW, and we don't have a crime. You know, it has to be coupled. For UCW, there has to be a crime first, and then UCW can be a carrier, or a side-by-side charge. But we don't have UCW. But
How do you know with him having both of these?
Well, but I mean, he said.
I want to pop in here really quick and just clarify what these deputies are discussing here. So another thing I didn't mention earlier is that when the deputies searched Josiah, they found a glass bowl that contained marijuana. Weed is still illegal under Texas law, and it is also a crime to be in possession of a firearm while committing another crime. So that means that anyone who is in possession of both an illegal substance like weed and a firearm at the same time are committing the crime of unlawful carrying of a weapon, or UCW, as they're referring to it. So Deputy Sarah floated the idea of charging Josiah with UCW because he was in possession of marijuana while also armed. But Deputy McDaniel, to his credit, gets this right. In order to apply that statute, you have to have a legitimate reason to search the person in the first place. Deputy McDaniel makes the case that they didn't have one. Josiah wasn't breaking any laws by standing on the porch. He wasn't threatening anyone, and he wasn't doing anything that would have legally justified a search. So the moment they found the marijuana, after detaining and disarming him without probable cause, they couldn't then just go back and pretend that they had grounds for the UCW charge from the beginning. That's not how the law works. So props to Deputy McDaniel for telling Deputy Sarah not to pursue those charges. And surprisingly, they even returned the weed to Josiah's truck still in the bowl. Now that doesn't make what they did right, but it does show how on the fly and subjective this kind of enforcement can be.
Hey, what's a good phone number for you? Is this your tag?
That's the one.
Okay. You want to step out?
Sure.
And then you show me on your...
On the cell phone?
Yeah.
Yeah. You are able to...
Just show me on your phone real quick.
Just go flip it up to you. So if you want, I can ping it.
Okay.
Thanks, sir.
Any questions?
We all good?
My suggestion would be not to carry a gun like that.
In the open, if you're looking to help with neighbors,
That's fair.
right?
Yeah, that's fair.
I unloaded the mags, the pistol, and both mags are in there.
Sounds good.
Okay. I just want to get shot in the back.
Understand?
Okay.
Is that a 19?
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll be good.
Okay, man. Be careful.
So, yeah, terrible grip on it, but I've been looking to get her stippled actually just so it handles it a little better. All good here?
Appreciate the
Thank you guys. Yes, sir.
appreciate your understanding.
Of course.
Have a good one.
The deputies allowed Josiah to leave the scene without further incident, but the story doesn't really end there. At this point, Josiah had no answers about how Mishka's collar came off, as it didn't appear to be broken and she was still missing, but now with no way to track her at all. Immediately after the interaction, Josiah called his father, who happens to be an attorney, and asked him about what to do next. This led him to filing a police report about his missing cat and requesting the body camera footage of the encounter. According to Josiah, just hours after filing the police report about Mishka, she was miraculously found in a nearby apartment complex that the AirTag had pinged a few weeks earlier. He told me that he was shown surveillance footage of someone dropping off his cat near the dumpsters of the complex, but he wasn't able to clearly identify who it was, and at this point he was just happy to have his cat back. Eventually he received the body camera footage from his FOIA request and saw the remarks that Deputy McDaniel made and decided to file 2 complaints against him, which are still pending. Josiah told me that he isn't sure if he wants to pursue legal action just yet, but he did want to get his story out there because he felt like he was treated unfairly, disparaged for no reason, and that the deputies didn't seem to respect the constitutional carry laws of Texas. And I happen to agree. But you let me know what you think about this interaction in the comments below. If you'd like to support Josiah, I'll leave a link to his Instagram page in the description. Be sure to hit that subscribe button if you're interested in hearing more police-related stories like this one. That's all I got for you today, ladies and gentlemen. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.